It's your man Jay Graves Report, and welcome to the College Football Weekly Wrap-Up Week 10, presented by your good neighbor State Farm agent Ravi R. Murray, located 3955 Eagle Creek Parkway, or hit your boy up at 317-297-3804. Y'all know how we get it in, so let's get it in. Wrapping up the top 5 ball games of the weekend, so let's get right to it. Now, before we get to the top 5 ball games, let's talk about the foolishness that is Texas A&M. Now, y'all know I went on a rant earlier this week and in the preview when I told boys that I thought it was duh that the playoff committee put Texas A&M number 4 when they should have been deeper in the rankings and should have had Washington ranked number 4 because they were undefeated. I know that it all works itself out, but it's duh when they do that. Because what they did was put Texas A&M at number 4 simply because they were in the SEC and they went down to Duh Start Vegas and got beat. So we don't have to talk about Texas A&M no more this season because they got 2 duh losses, so they shouldn't even be in the top 10, top 15. They got 2 duh losses. We're going to leave them alone. Let's go on to the first ball game. Now, let's go out to the big house. We got Maryland going out to play number 3, Michigan. Now, Michigan beat the brakes off these boys, 59-3. I picked Michigan to win this game, but I thought it would be at least a competitive game to some degree because DJ Durkin, the head coach at Maryland, used to be the defensive coordinator over at Michigan. And he was also on Jim Harbaugh's staff when he was out in Stanford. So you figured that the Dunn got taught a little bit, but Jim Harbaugh standing there with his Malcolm X glasses on, the booger in his finger. Hey, I taught you a little bit, Playboy, but I didn't teach all of it. He beat the brakes off of him. Now, here's the deal. Wilton Speight, the Michigan quarterback, went 9 of 24, 362 yards, 2 touchdowns. And the Michigan ground game went to work on these boys, put up 273 yards on them. And the homeboy, Chris Evans, is going to work. Young freshman is going to work for these boys. From Indianapolis, Ben Davis, we give him some props. Now, Michigan only gave up 3 points. Like I told you going into this game, they got the number 1 total defense. They got the number 1 scoring defense, number 1 passing defense. The only team in America, I'm saying it right now, that's capable of beating Alabama, is Michigan. So I'm looking forward to the matchup when it comes. I hope neither one of these boys wet the bed or fall apart, stump a toe before we can get to a national championship game because I believe these are the 2 best teams in America. But it doesn't matter what I think. It's about whether a boy wins the games necessary to get to the national championship. Now, let's move on to the next ball game. We got number 8, Wisconsin, goes out to Evanston to play Northwestern. Northwestern. Now, Wisconsin hadn't won in Evanston since 1999. I picked them to win this ball game because I figured Northwestern, regardless of what that number says, what that stat said, Northwestern isn't good enough to beat these boys because Wisconsin is the real deal. They've been battle tested. They played 5 top 10 teams since the season started. They lost two of those ball games, but that was to Ohio State and Michigan. They only lost by a touchdown apiece. So they were the real deal. Alex Hornbeck went 9 of 11 of 19 for 92 yards. He split time with Bart Hurston, and he had 51 yards. But the real deal was Corey Clemens. Had 106 yards, led these boys, beat them 21-6. Put in work. Let's move on to the next ball game. Now, we got number 11, Florida, goes down to Fayetteville to play Arkansas. Now, Florida went down there and wet the bed on these boys. I picked Florida to win this game simply because they coming into this ball game 6-1. They hadn't lost to Arkansas since Arkansas moved into the conference in 1992. And these boys got out here and got beat 31-10, completely wet the bed. Luke Del Rio put up 229 yards in the air, but he threw 2 dub picks. The difference in the ball game here, bruh, is the fact that Florida only had the ball for 20 minutes. Arkansas kept the ball for 39 minutes, bruh. Went through these boys. Austin Allen had 243 yards, a touchdown. Riley Williams went to work on these boys, put up 148 yards on the ground. As a team, they rushed for 223 yards on the ground. Anytime a boy is is getting bits and pieces all night long. They eating up the clock, keeping your offense on the sideline, and then when your offense do come out, they throwing dub picks. Oh, Luke Del Rio threw 2 dub picks, and he had but 20 minutes to work with. Let's move on to the next ball game. Now, speaking of a boy wet in the bed, we got number 10, Nebraska, goes out to Ohio Stadium to play number 6, Ohio State. Nebraska went out here and wet the bed so bad, Big Mama can't even turn the mattress over, bro. Don't act like y'all remember peeing in the bed and Big Mama turned the mattress over like you didn't do it. Because she wasn't going out and buying a new mattress, bro. You was going to pee on it and she was going to flip it back and forth each side until it was just soiled. Then she going to get a new mattress. These boys went out here and beat them 62-3. How you get out here? You 6-1 coming in the door and get beat 62-3. Now, I picked Nebraska to win this ball game because Ohio State had been dubbed the past 2 weeks. They lost to Penn State a couple weeks ago. Then they end up losing. They end up struggling with Northwestern, who was dubbed. They gave up 400 yards on the ground, 400 yards total offense to Northwestern, who has the number 93 offense in America. So I figured with the way Nebraska was playing, Tommy Armstrong Jr. and company, they was going to come in there and go to work. These boys got out here and got the brakes beat off of them. J.T. Barrett put up 352 and 4 touchdowns. And then Chris Samuels put up 178 yards from the line of scrimmage. He had 137 yards receiving and another 41 yards running. They making this boy look better than what he is. Chris Samuel, he just popped on the scene. He putting in work, but they making this boy look a lot better than what he is. Now, let's move on to the next ball game. We going down to Death Valley. We got number 1 Alabama. Goes out to play number 13 LSU. Now, LSU come into this ball game on a 3-game winning streak after they fired old Doug Les Miles and Ed Orgeron got these boys rolling. But what you got to understand is Alabama is Alabama. After 3 quarters, it was 0 score, no score. Then all of a sudden, the pretty boy, Jalen Hurts, goes to work on these boys. Scores a touchdown, beat these boys 10 to nothing. Jalen Hurts was 10 of 19, 107 yards, and a dub pick in the air. But then he turns around, he's got 20 carries for 114 yards and a touchdown. They tried to force him into making mistakes, but the Dunn is not making mistakes. He's not playing like a freshman. And until you can completely shut down the run game with Alabama and keep him from running the football, you're not going to find out whether he's going to make the mistakes necessary because he threw the dub pick. But now you let him run for 114 yards, you let him off the hook. Like Denny Green said, they were who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook. Hey, it's your man Jay Graves Report from the JGravesReport.com. And you can hit me up on Twitter at JGravesReport so you can holler at your boy. And always remember, this segment is presented by your good neighbor, State Farm agent, Ravi R. Murray, located 3955 Eagle Creek Parkway, or hit your boy up at 317-297-3804 so you can holler at your boy.